Have you ever wondered why you feel different from everyone around you? Why friendships seem to fade, relationships never seem to last, and no one truly understands the way you think? It's not random, it's because you're a chosen one. And the truth is, chosen ones walk a path of solitude, not because they're meant to be alone forever, but because they're being prepared for something greater. Society tells you that being alone is a bad thing, that if you don't fit in, something must be wrong with you. But what if I told you that your isolation is actually a sign of your power? That the very reason you feel disconnected from others is because your energy is different, rare, and meant for something higher? The universe separates those who are chosen, not to punish them, but to transform them. And here's what most people don't realize. This loneliness isn't permanent. It's part of the journey, a test, a refining process. And once you understand why it's happening, everything changes. Because the moment you embrace your path, the connections you've been waiting for will finally appear. The challenge of being a chosen one. If you are a chosen one, you've probably noticed that your journey has always been different. From a young age, you felt an unshakable sense of purpose, even if you couldn't explain it. Others often misunderstood you, sensing something unique but unable to grasp what it was. This difference, instead of drawing people in, sometimes pushes them away. It's not that you try to be different, it's just who you are. Many chosen ones experience deep loneliness, not because they lack social skills, but because their energy is simply too intense for most people. Their mere presence can make others uncomfortable, stirring emotions they'd rather avoid. It's like walking into a room and feeling the tension shift, not because of what you say, but because of who you are. This isn't a flaw, it's proof of your higher vibration. This loneliness isn't a punishment, it's preparation. A chosen one isn't meant to fit into the mold of society. They are meant to reshape it. That's why their path is often one of solitude, forcing them to turn inward and develop resilience. But here's the secret. What feels like isolation is actually refinement. And this is where the real journey begins. Energy, sensitivity, and isolation. If you are a chosen one, you've likely felt like an outsider, even in a crowded room. Your energy is different, pure, intense, and impossible to ignore. People sense it, even if they don't understand why. It's not that they dislike you, but your presence often forces them to confront their own insecurities. The light you carry has a way of exposing the shadows in others, making them uneasy without knowing why. Because of this, many chosen ones find themselves isolated, not by choice, but by nature. Their authenticity is both a gift and a challenge. It attracts truth seekers, but repels those who live in illusions. Have you ever noticed that people either deeply connect with you or seem to avoid you altogether? This isn't coincidence, it's energy at work. Your frequency naturally filters out those who are not ready for your presence. But here's the catch. This isolation isn't meant to break you, it's meant to protect you. The universe removes what doesn't align with you, even when you don't understand why. It feels lonely at times, but this is a crucial step in your journey. Because what comes next requires a strength only solitude can build. Emotional and spiritual imbalance. If you are a chosen one, you probably give more than you receive. Your heart is wired for deep connections, yet most relationships leave you feeling drained. It's not that people don't appreciate you, it's that they don't know how to match your depth. You sense emotions others hide, and without realizing it, you absorb them. This imbalance can be exhausting, leaving you wondering why you always feel depleted after social interactions. Many chosen ones experience relationships that feel one-sided. You pour energy into others, healing, guiding, and supporting, but rarely receive the same in return. It's not that people are intentionally selfish. It's just that they can't give what they don't have. Have you ever felt like you're always the listener, the problem solver, the one who understands? That's because you naturally take on the role of a spiritual anchor for those around you. But this pattern isn't sustainable, and at some point, you realize something has to change. The universe will keep putting you in these imbalanced situations until you learn to set boundaries. It's not about shutting people out, it's about protecting your own energy. Because before you can truly connect with the right people, you must first learn to guard your own light. The need for inner healing. If you are a chosen one, you carry wounds that others don't see. Since childhood, you may have felt misunderstood, rejected, or even abandoned, not because you were unworthy, but because your energy was always different. These experiences weren't accidents, they were lessons, shaping you into the person you are meant to become. But here's the truth, healing isn't automatic. Many chosen ones carry emotional scars for years, unaware of how deeply they affect their journey. This is why solitude is often necessary. The universe isolates you, not as a punishment, but as a way to push you into deep self-reflection. When the noise of the world fades, you are left with only yourself, and that's where true healing begins. Have you ever noticed that every major transformation in your life happened after a period of isolation? That's because silence forces you to confront what's been buried for too long. Healing isn't just about moving on, it's about preparing for what's next. Until you release the past, you'll keep attracting the same lessons in different forms. Relationships, friendships, even life opportunities, they all mirror your inner state. And once you truly heal, something incredible happens. You no longer chase connections, the right ones find you. But there's a reason why this process takes time. Waiting for the right partner. If you are a chosen one, love has never been simple for you. While others jump into relationships easily, you've always felt that something deeper is required. You can't settle for surface-level connections. Your soul craves depth, meaning, and alignment. This makes dating frustrating because, let's be honest, most people aren't ready for the kind of energy you bring. And if you've ever felt like you're too much for someone, it's not because you're wrong, it's because they weren't ready. The truth is, chosen ones can't rush into relationships like everyone else. Your energy is sacred, and if you give it to the wrong person, it drains you rather than uplifts you. You may have tried to make it work with partners who didn't match your spiritual frequency, only to end up exhausted, misunderstood, or even betrayed. This isn't bad luck, it's divine protection. The universe blocks the wrong connections, no matter how much you want them to work. But here's the most important lesson. The right person isn't someone you find. It's someone who finds you when you're fully aligned with yourself. That's why patience is key. The waiting period isn't wasted time, it's preparation. Because once you step into your full power, love won't be something you chase. It will be something that flows effortlessly into your life. And when that moment comes, you'll realize why every past delay was necessary. The universe's purpose. If you are a chosen one, loneliness isn't just something you endure, it's something designed for you. While others may see isolation as a burden, for you, it's a phase of preparation. The universe pulls you away from distractions, fake connections, and meaningless noise so you can sharpen your purpose. This isn't rejection, it's refinement. You weren't meant to follow the crowd because you were always destined to lead. Many chosen ones question why they have to walk their path alone. The answer? Growth. When you're alone, you hear things others don't. The whispers of your soul, the pull of your destiny, the voice of the universe guiding you. Have you ever noticed that your greatest revelations, ideas, and transformations happen in solitude? That's because silence amplifies truth. And until you embrace that, the bigger picture of your mission remains unclear. But here's where everything shifts. Once you accept your solitude, it stops feeling like loneliness. It becomes a sacred space where you grow into the person you were always meant to be. And when the time is right, the universe will reintroduce you to the world, not as who you were, but as who you've become. That's when the connections you've been waiting for will finally appear. Depth of soul and human connection. If you are a chosen one, you've probably noticed that most people don't relate to the depth of your soul. While others enjoy surface-level conversations, you crave meaning, purpose, and truth. Small talk feels empty, gossip drains you. You see through illusions, and because of that, finding genuine human connection is rare. It's not that you don't want friendships or relationships, it's that most people can't meet you at your level. This depth can make socializing feel exhausting. You may have tried to tone yourself down to fit in, but it never works. The more you hide your true nature, the more disconnected you feel. That's because chosen ones aren't meant to blend in. They're meant to stand out. Your wisdom, insight, and intuition aren't flaws, they're gifts. But most people live on autopilot, and your presence disrupts their comfort zone. But here's what you need to remember. The right people do exist. There are souls who think like you, feel like you, and understand you without explanation. You may not have met them yet, but that's only because the universe is aligning you with those on your frequency. And when you finally cross paths, you'll realize why it had to take this long. Now that you know why chosen ones experience loneliness, the question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you continue to see your solitude as a curse, or will you embrace it as a phase of transformation? The truth is, you were never meant to fit in. You were meant to rise, evolve, and lead. And the moment you stop resisting your journey, everything begins to align. Have you noticed patterns in your life that prove this? Moments where isolation led to breakthroughs, where solitude brought clarity. Drop a comment below and share your experience, because chances are someone else needs to hear it. Your journey might just be the confirmation another chosen one is searching for. And if this message resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because this is just the beginning. The more you understand your path, the more powerful you become. And trust me, the world hasn't even seen the full extent of your light yet.